However, at the same time, this message is important. This message is important to be conveyed to the concerned person in the water board. That is, that the residents of the colony should be intimated prior to cutting off the water supply on any particular day. Therefore, when an important line is not relevant in the body of the letter, it can be included in this way in the postscript of the letter. Postscripts are also generally used in sales letters. This is in order to attract attention to a particular offer or a new range of products that the respective company is providing or offering, as we saw in the example given in the previous slide, which said that do not forget to check out our latest range of LEDs. Such a line can be added in the end of a sales letter that is promoting a range of lights by any company that sells electrical products. Let us now look at the final element in the structure of a business letter, and this is the reference line. The reference line is an alphanumeric reference number to uniquely identify the letter for sequential correspondence with the recipient. Like I mentioned in the beginning, often if there is continued correspondence over a single problem, a single project within an organization, then it is important that this particular problem or project is given a reference number, so that each letter that is being written as part of correspondence related to that project will bear that reference number. This will help the sender as well as the recipient to identify in what context this particular letter has been written. This reference line appears as an alphanumeric number. Alphanumeric means that it is a mixture of alphabets as well as numbers, and this number is unique. That is, this alphanumeric number that is used for one project cannot be used for any other project, problem or issue within correspondence of the given organization. The reference line appears in the form of either only a serial number, or it can have the department initials and the serial number, or it can have the project ID and the serial number. Depends on the amount of specification that is required by that particular organization. Let us look at how the reference line is written. The reference line appears generally above the date line, and an example, it starts by writing the abbreviation REF, that is reference, NO, that is number, reference number. First we have the project ID, which is in alphabets. After that a slash and the department ID, a slash and the serial number of the particular project that the letter refers to. Let us now look at the use of the reference line within a sample letter. So let us go to the next slide. As you can see, this is a letter written by the International Association for Teachers of Chemical Engineering. It seems that there is a project, a competition or a seminar that is being organized by this association, for which nominations are being called for, or it could also be possible that new members are being added to the association for which nominations have been invited. Now, in response to the letters that the association has received for this particular issue or this particular objective, a reference number has been allotted. Therefore, the reference number appears right after the date line and says REF, your letter M124VC dated 25 July 2010. This is one way of providing a reference. There are also other ways of providing the reference, and this is done in the message, that is the main body of the letter. Usually in this case, the letter begins with a line that says further to your letter reference number, and then the reference number is mentioned, or with reference to your letter and then the reference number as well as the date of the letter are mentioned. Therefore, either the reference line can appear after the date line, or the reference line can be included as the first sentence of the main body of the letter. Therefore, we see that these are the 9 occasional parts in the structure of a business letter. Let us now look at an entire sample letter which includes all the standard and occasional parts. So, we begin with the heading, followed by the date line, followed by the mailing notation, then the addressee notation, then the inside address. After 2 lines, we have the attention line, followed by the salutation. Again we leave 2 lines and we have the subject line. After that we have the beginning of the message of the letter. The message is continued, and at the end of the message we begin with the complimentary close, which comes after 2 lines of the message. After the complimentary close we begin with the signature block, which includes the signature, their name and the designation of the sender. After this we have the reference initials. 2 lines after the reference initials, one includes the enclosure notation. After the enclosure notation, one includes the copy notation, that is, who are the recipients of copies of this letter. And finally, at the end we find the postscript, that is, any important message that has been left out in the body of the letter. Therefore, to repeat, occasional parts are not compulsorily included in each business letter that we write. However, as you have seen, many of the occasional parts are extremely important to highlight significant details, to highlight the sources, to highlight where the letter is to be filed, to highlight who exactly is the recipient of the letter, to help the recipient understand the purpose of the letter in brief, or to add any afterthoughts or important personal messages at the end of the letter. Therefore, it is important to carefully choose which occasional part one needs to include in one's business letter in order to make the business letter more effective, more precise, more concise, as well as easier to understand. Let us now look at the reference book, which you can refer to for further details regarding this topic. The name of the reference book is Technical Communication Principles and Practice, written by Meenakshi Raman and Sangeeta Sharma, which is an Oxford University Press publication. You can read further examples as well as details of the structure of a business letter in this book, and what you see on the slide is a picture of the cover of the book. Therefore, I hope that after today's lecture, you will be able to use the standard as well as the occasional parts of a business letter. You will be able to understand the importance and purpose of each, and you will be able to use them to make effective use of business letters for corporate and formal communication. Thank you so much and all the best.
Sandhan, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.